burying the nuclear material, taking down the Navy and the Air Force, and making Iran not a threat to its neighbors, saying he's.
I mean, here's the thing about their whole missile capability, because like I say, Trump and Hegseth is telling us that they were taking out like 90% of their missile capability. Well, actually, they've only taken about 1/3, aka 33% of their missiles have confirmed to be destroyed. And then you could probably fairly say 2/3 if you want to add the ones that might be buried or just damaged, but not confirmed to be destroyed. But as of now, only 1/3 of their missiles have been confirmed to be destroyed. So not 90% like Trump and Hegseth has been boasting. And that makes sense. Why? Because Iran has been firing off missiles, consistently all day or since this war started. Missiles and drones.
Almost done, and referencing when he goes to Dover Air Force Base and meets the bodies of the 13 killed and talks about the injured, saying that the families have told him we need to finish the job. That said, he's saying we're going to finish the job quickly. And at that point, if Iran has not negotiated a settlement, it's going to be significant in these next 2 or 3 weeks, the attacks before we leave.
So Brett, there's a fundamental disagreement that the president is having with some of the commentators that are out there and analysts. They continue to say, and they wanted this last night, they want more. And the president is saying that is, quote, stupid, because that would be telegraphing what he plans on doing. He'll give you the base, the bullet points, but that's about it. He's not going to talk military strategy. Is he the first president to carry out conflict that way?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, he has done that each time there's been some kind of military action. There's been sort of look at over here at the shiny thing, and then something's happened. And I'm not, I don't take away the possibility that that is possible this time. But for the people out there that are really concerned about the nuclear weapons, and obviously the president said Iran can never get a nuclear weapon. He addressed that directly last night, and he said the nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard it would take months to get near the nuclear dust. If we see them making a move, even a move to it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard. Saying that
make sure to double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Let's get more people in on the conversation by double tapping that screen or smashing the like button. Appreciate the support. And as far as them going towards a nuke, like I said, they haven't even went towards 90% enrichment. And if this is about, their nuclear capabilities, we could have got an eye on that through, diplomatic means. We didn't have to go this route. But obviously now you see Trump talking about, the goal wasn't regime change, but we got regime change, even though there is no regime change in sight. I mean, we're not speaking to a new government here. It's the same guys. And just because we killed a succession of them doesn't mean we're not dealing with the same people. Yeah, we're still dealing with the same radical group of, mullahs, clerics.
They're going to watch. They're going to have a watch over this nuclear material. They know where it is. But the bottom line is most people don't even fully appreciate how bad Iran cheated, saying that they didn't have this nuclear material enriched to 60%. It would only take them a short time to get to weapons grade 90%, saying that they didn't have missiles that could travel 2,500 miles, and then they shot one. And so I think that there was a frustration on the administration and the president's part to hearing speeches from the UK prime minister and others saying this was not our war.
Yeah.
It's everybody's war if it is this threat.
But whoa. See, and that is the wildest part. It's like we're trying to force a world war at this point. Bro, they didn't. First off, like I said, the treaty for NATO, or this whole NATO alliance thing that we got going on here, is about if somebody attacks us, they got to join in. If somebody attacks them, then we got to join in. It's kind of a deterrent for all of these countries, definitely ourselves as well, from being attacked, because you're going to get jumped by multiple countries. It was never in the agreement that, you got to follow us up into any war we drag you into. No. And then the worst part about it is we started this conflict/war. They're suffering the consequences of it through high oil prices or energy prices. And we're telling them, look, I know we caused the problem, but now you got to fix it. Is a dickhead move
to the region. That said, there are still critics, Lawrence, and they're loud.
Brett, speaking of those critics for a moment, President Trump said he's correcting the mistakes of his predecessors, obvious reference to Obama and Biden on freezing Iranian assets and failed diplomacy. But I'm curious, I have yet to hear a Democrat articulate what their path forward would have been for a problem that has bedeviled us for 5 decades. Have you heard an alternate path described or just criticism of the current path?
No, just criticism of the current path.
Yeah, honestly, that's what all I've been hearing too. I mean, the only Democrat that's actually getting any real criticism is old Tulsi Gabbard when she said, Trump, you need to get back into the JCPOA. Honestly, that's probably what the Democrats are probably saying, if anything. Yo, if we just got back into the JCPOA, we'd have had the inspectors and we wouldn't be here if this is all about their nuclear capability.
And there are some Democrats who privately will tell you, we wish we had confronted it more directly like this at some point. Because you look back at 47 years, the world let Iran get to this point where they have as much leverage or did have as much leverage as they have. Now, as far as the Strait of Hormuz, you have the UK leading this 35-nation coalition, but saying that they're not going to get involved until Iran and the U.S. stop the war. And so I don't know how that's going to work as far as 2 to 3 weeks out and what that means for oil prices in the short term. Bottom line is the president says the U.S. doesn't get a lot of oil through the strait. Many other countries get large percentages and they need to step up.
Oh, God, make sure to make sure to double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Let's make sure to get those likes up so we can get more people in on the conversation. Appreciate the support, but make sure you're double tapping that screen.
There's a lot to that. Obviously, people feel inflation going up. They feel gas prices going up, and it has to be addressed.
And you talked about Lawrence and the tactics, and the president doesn't want to play his hand. I got it. But we also don't see much footage. We see black and white footage that looks devastating, but we see a lot of Tehran talk because they're allowed to have their national television station going. Why do you think we've left that up? For them to address their nation and give their idea of how this war is going. Do you think that's a mistake?
I mean, that's kind of crazy because that's attacking civilian infrastructure. I'm gonna be real with you, just because they support their government, just like you're on Fox News supporting your government. Would it be right if they just start attacking Fox News stations because they're in support of the government? Like, do you hear yourself, bro?
That's a great question, Brian, and who knows? It could be in the target list of the last 2 or 3 weeks. But I think there is still a hope that there would be some negotiation. You saw yesterday the Iranian president put out kind of a interesting letter to Americans saying that they are going to hold the line. There's no signal that there's a call for a ceasefire, at least not yet, even though the administration says that's what they're hearing tangentially from the Iranians. The problem is there's some confusion on the ground of who the leader is, who can take the baton and be the person that makes the decisions. This will be critical for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Now, according to Russian ambassador, because what we believed was that the new Ayatollah was taken to Russia because he suffered injuries. Probably people saying he lost both of his legs, he lost an eye, all types of crazy stuff. And that might actually be true. But according to, Russian diplomats and the Russian ambassador, they're pretty much saying, no, he's actually still inside of Tehran, as we speak. And since that news came out, they've actually heightened the amount of strikes on Iran. I mean, they even blew up a bridge that's used by civilians, by the way. That would be considered a war crime. But I mean, hey, man, since this war started, we don't care about war crimes no more.
Comes out of Iran, and maybe that's one of the reasons they left that media operation open. But it might go down at any time.
And of course, whoever becomes that leader, can they get control of the IRGC? Right. Because it seems like they're doing their own thing right now.
The hope is that the army, which has largely not been touched, will drop their arms and suddenly turn. The hope is that the people rise up. There's all kinds of hope. But as far as how that happens, what exactly it looks like on the ground, we don't know. Bottom line is the president's signaling there's a timeline here. He's not going to put as specific. He says 2 to 3 weeks. But once the objectives are clear, the U.S. is moving on. and they'll continue to keep a watch to make sure Iran doesn't go backwards.
We'll be sure to watch Special Report tonight with you, Brett Baer. You'll be starring, and of course, the panel is something to look forward to. And you never know. One night you might just book a band and make it more of a musical presentation. You've always thought about that.
That'd be great.
All right. But let's go ahead and go on to the next video. And yo, Chase, my dog, how you doing? Yo, guys, make sure you guys double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Like I said, we're trying to beat the shadow ban. The only way to do that is to show engagement. So make sure you smash that like button, no matter where you're watching from, especially you guys on Rumble. But all right, let's go ahead and get into the next video over here on CNN. And wait, is Trump picking on all of China's allies? Well, you know what? I kind of wish he was, because, you know, Russia is now allowed to sell some of their oil sanction free for 30 days. China's still able to get their oil from Iran, and you're not able to get your oil or pass through the Strait of Hormuz unless you're paying in Chinese yuan. So no, sadly, no. Yeah, I know. They literally closing down, well, not closing down, but restricting passes through the Strait of Hormuz if you're an American ally, and if you're not, and if you try to pay with American dollars. No, you're only allowed to pay for their oil in Chinese yuan. So that's their way of not only attacking us through passage and through trade, but, you know,